Plant a seed and watch it grow. $1 is all it takes to make a difference. Visit www.worshipcenterradio.net and click the banner on the right-hand side and sow a seed to Worship Center Radio, the platform of champions.
From Detroit to the nations, you are listening to the world's #1 Christian station, Worship Center Radio, the platform of champions.
But if the watchman sees the sword coming and does not blow the trumpet to warn the people, and the sword comes and takes someone's life, that person's life will be taken because of their sin. But I will hold the watchman accountable for their blood. Son of man, I have made you a watchman for the people of Israel. So hear the word I speak and give them warning for me.
If your church is celebrating Halloween, you should be ashamed of yourself. We about to put the spook in spooky. Roll that music. Yeah! And it's on! The Watchman's voice, y'all. Yeah. So you know we gotta do the message today. Halloween is right around the corner, and people are still celebrating Halloween. Why are you celebrating Halloween? I don't get it. You know what type of holiday it is. You know it's not of God, but you still decide that it's more important that the kids have a holiday where they can eat candy. Where they can eat candy all year round. Get a grip, people! Tuesday afternoon, evening, wherever you may be. It might be morning. Good Tuesday to you. So, are you celebrating Halloween this year? Your church is not celebrating Halloween, but you're celebrating Trunk or Treat or Angel's Day instead of Devil's Night, and instead of Halloween, you're celebrating and put some kind of spin on it. Like it's supposed to make it all good just because you celebrate Halloween under a different name. Are you kidding me? Are y'all serious? Are you serious? There is no way that you could take Halloween and make it a good holiday. It just isn't possible. So why are you trying to do it? Oh, I get it. You don't want the kids to not be able to do like their friends are doing during this holiday season. And you want them to be able to go out and experience life like the rest of the kids are doing. You, like I said the other week, and I let the show replay so you can get it in your head. You are allowing your kids to manipulate you to the point that they are actually running your house. They are the new witches and warlocks of this millennium. Now, we had them before, but they were different people. They were actually witches and warlocks, but now we're allowing our kids to be there because we allow the devil to get in our homes through our kids by accepting certain things that we know shouldn't be in our homes. And you know what? When I was a kid, my mom made a big deal out of us not celebrating Halloween, and we thought we were missing out. And it really isn't a miss out. It really isn't. But I know one thing. I know that the parents are actually letting their kids go to, Lord Jesus, help me. Your pastor, if he comes up with a new name to celebrate something so demonic and so evil, and you feel like it's okay because the kids are having fun and dressing up and eating candy, and that's what you're celebrating more, the kids dressing up and eating candy, you have been deceived. I'm just saying, because I'm going to take this first 5 minutes and just let you know, because I know the news break is coming up. In the news break, we're going to talk about Satanism and the witchcraft connection with Satanism and the obscenities of Halloween and paganism and an occult. Because y'all seem to don't know. I don't understand this. This is not a new thing. It's not a new thing. It's been around for a century. Breaking Worship Center news. Breaking Worship Center news. Halloween is the devil's holiday. That's breaking news for you. Halloween is the devil's holiday. Now, I know some people are sitting out there talking about, Christians always talking about the devil and always talking about God and always talking about what's the devil and what's God's, and we give too much credit to the devil and all this other stuff that y'all want to keep going on and saying. But I had a friend on Facebook today tell me that he doesn't believe in the devil and God and heaven or hell and doesn't believe in none of that. So if they say Halloween is the devil's holiday, since I don't believe in that, it doesn't exist to me. Are you freaking kidding me? You might not believe in air or you might not believe in space and other planets, but it doesn't mean they don't exist. What planet are you living on, bruh? I don't get it. Look, y'all want to call me today? The number is 248-796-8241. I'm going to take breaks today. So y'all can understand. Today is a day that we break down the fallacies of Halloween. All right? So that y'all understand and know that Halloween is not supposed to be celebrated. We're not supposed to hide from the devil and what he does. That's not what we're supposed to do. But we're not supposed to celebrate it either. And we're not supposed to put a spin on it to make it all good and washed in the blood of Jesus and good for Christians to celebrate. That's not how that works either. Let me move this up so I make sure y'all hear me clearly. That's not how it's supposed to work. Okay, do y'all understand that? That Halloween is a satanic holiday. So is Easter, and so is Christmas. Did y'all hear that? I didn't say it low enough. Christmas. Because I don't want y'all to think that I'm against Christian holidays. Christmas was never a Christian holiday. Halloween is never a Christian holiday. And Easter was never a Christian holiday. We blood wash these holidays to make it what we want them to be because we want to participate in what everybody else is doing, just like the world. When the Lord told us in the Bible to be in the world and not of the world, we recognize these things. We recognize that they celebrate these pagan holidays and these ritualistic things that are not of God and that are just out and out bad. I mean, what other word can you give it other than an atrocity to mankind so you can understand where this is coming from? Because a lot of you don't understand where this is coming from because you think that Christians are crazy. Let's read a little bit about Satanism and witchcraft connection. I got this off the internet and somebody gave it to me. It was posted about 2-3 years ago. Okay. It's by Cosmos 33 on the internet, and he looked it up for us. So let's read his findings. And the heroes of Halloween and witch hunts. I went deep into finding these things, and then somebody gave me some information, and I have an audio file that I need to play for you too, because there are signs that are out there that we see every day that are satanistic, and we don't even know it. So let's read real quick. Halloween is a major satanic holiday. Before each coven meeting, which is a meeting of witches, Satan has to be appeased by the rape of a virgin or a newborn baby. These two are of the highest ranks, the most pleasing to Satan and Satanists. A holocaust or arson or the ritual murder of a person or animal. So you can do rituals, but the highest on the list is to grab a virgin or a newborn baby. And it said the rape of a newborn baby. I mean, the rape of a virgin and or a newborn baby. How sick is that? But we want to celebrate this holiday. The most appeasing sacrifice to Satan is something pure. The highest is a child, preferably newborn, which is mostly secretly bred and thus born without being lawfully registered by a Satanist mother, who is ordered by the high priest to do so for a sacrifice. The mother and the baby are usually raped before the baby is ritually killed. Next to a child or a baby, the most pleasing to Satan and Satanistic is a virgin, and next to an animal. And next an animal. Okay, and next an animal. The blood is consumed by the Satanistic high priest, which is outright Satanism, and by the witches in the Wiccan or witchcraft, crypto-Satanism. All members somehow are involved in the whole ritual procedure. All holidays that are not included on the ecclesiastical liturgical church calendar are paganistic and secular. Can I read that again? All holidays that are not included on the ecclesiastical liturgical church calendar are paganistic and secular. The biggest one totally dedicated to Satan and his followers is the unholy Halloween. This is the Satanist, pagan, occultist Pasha's Passover. They have this as we have an Orthodox Holy Week. The information you're about to read, that I'm about to read to you, will cross-reference and analyze and prove that there's no difference between witchcraft, Wicca, and Satanism is actually non-existent. So there's no line between Wicca, witchcraft, and Satanism. There's no line. It's actually no line there. That's what he's saying. So the line, the people that say, "Oh, there's a difference between Satanism. Oh, there's a difference between Wiccan. We worship this and we worship that. We're not like the Satanists. And then the witches they worship this and they're not like us. We're Wiccan or we're Satanists. And Satanists believe that you are your own God and all this other stuff." There's no line in between what they believe and what they are doing. They all fall under Satanism, and they all have similar sacrifices and rituals. Let's read on. Halloween is filled with darkness and paganism, and it is saturated with influences of Satan. Satan is a very real person. Jesus Christ used personal pronouns when referring to Satan. To accomplish his purposes, Satan uses many devices. He has his own synagogue and congregation, his own gospel, his own ministers, and his own doctrine, and his own communion service. Wow. Everything that we have in church, he has in his church. Because Satan wants to be God so much that he has to plagiarize him. Let's read on. He has many forms and disguises and ways of manipulation, deception, and delusion. Satan even distorts God's word and tries to use that against the people too. We've seen that in many ways today. Halloween is not just a fun day. For witches and worshipers of Satan, Halloween is serious business. Halloween is a time when Satan makes light of his own operations. He presents himself as a hoodlum, a kind of cartoon character than who he is. Let me read that again. He presents himself as a hoodlum, a kind of cartoon character, rather than who he is, the real arch enemy of God. Witchcraft today embraces dozens of unbiblical beliefs and practices and has many thousands of adherents. The Old Testament and the New Testament make repeated references to the practices of witchcraft, and God always condemns all such practices. The initiation rites for those involved in witchcraft and the worship of Satan are indeed very gruesome. Two girls described their experience. They had to go to a graveyard in the dead of night, step on and walk across a large wooden cross and renounce any beliefs in Christ. And then they would drink the blood of animals that had been skinned alive. There are pictures, videos, police reports, documents of all kinds, as well as testimonies of many ex-occultists, ex-Masons, Masonic temples, and all of those things are all of Satan, and ex-Satanists, survivors, and even current Wiccans and Satanists who admit to these things. Surely these gruesome anti-Christian, unorthodox, and unnatural Satanistic activities. Halloween is the chief holiday of Satanists and those who practice witchcraft. To participate in the celebration of the pagan festival called Halloween is to give an open invitation to the forces of Satan to gain more influences on lives. Witchcraft is an occult practice and subculture path of Satanism, just like the Orthodox Church and Christianity has the holy mysteries and holy liturgies. Sometimes I need to learn how to read, but liturgies and etc. Satanism also has its rituals, liturgies, and dark mysteries. Satan has evolved into many diverse forms and practices from east to west. Witchcraft is one of the many forms of worshiping demons, Satan creating spells, curses, and having evil spirits possess you, and honoring death. First Samuel says in 1 Samuel 15:23, for rebellion is of witchcraft. And it is, because I know rebellion is bad. You are almost in the highest form of witchcraft when you're in rebellion. Let's read on. Witches are for Halloween or for superstition primitives in the 17th century Salem. Remember, people was burning witches at the cross, witches in Salem when they figure out you're a witch, and they will burn them at the stake and burn them. Yeah, that seems to be the modern outlook, sophisticated skepticism, and a knowing smile when it comes to witchcraft. People kind of pushed it off as fable, but that stuff happened. And yet times recent cover stories will indicate that witchcraft is not a thing of the past. Satan and worship and Satanism is not dead. Satan worship and Satanism is not dead. Young people by the thousands are probing seriously the mysteries of the other side, from seances to Satan worship. There's no period there. Leading universities report over enrolled courses on witchcraft. Occult book sales have doubled in the last 3 years. Most American high schools have their campus witches and warlocks, and occasionally the headlines shatter our complacency with the terror of Mason-style violence. Now look, real quick before so we can keep going. This was in 2012, and they said that the occult book sales have doubled in 3 years. If you look back to 2012, when did the Harry Potter books start coming out? You get that? When did the Harry Potter books start moving around and start coming out? Around that time. So that makes sense for it to have doubled because of the Harry Potter movies, the all the little witch shows on Disney and things like that, and in the cartoons. They were going after the kids, and that's why in the leading universities and reports say that the occult book sales have doubled. I wonder if we look from 2012 to now, how fast and how high is that number now? Halloween, let's go back to reading. Halloween is celebrated by most children in the United States, Canada, and even Western Europe. This issue is becoming debatable inside of Christian circles because of the rise of the occult in North America. Witchcraft, Satanism, revivals, and their obvious ties with pagan holidays causes Christians to question if the church shall participate in Halloween. Children are in costumes and masks with Halloween pumpkins of jack-o'-lanterns named for will-wisp, an ancient symbol of damned souls. Too long considering harmless fun and innocent pranks. People, this is bad. This is bad. And we think this is okay for our kids to celebrate. This is not good. Let's go back here. I'm going to read this first. This is next. Okay, so let's talk about the obscene things in Halloween. All right. Halloween has always wallowed, and we're still reading from this report. Halloween has always wallowed in the obscene. Its horrid history is paved with vandalism, destruction, and wickedness. The sickening depravity of razor blades and apples and poison candies of the 1970s was a clear testimony of the evil of Halloween. Some say that Halloween brings out the evil side of human nature in certain individuals. The numbers of vandalism and acts committed each year on Halloween seems to support this. Halloween has always been a night of perversion and inversion, a night where misery rules and decadence masquerades as decency. Halloween's best kept secret is its romantic love affairs with homosexuals. Ugh. Halloween was the golden key that unlocked the homosexual's closet of perversion. Halloween's spirits of inversion bestowed the homosexuals one utopian night of publicity publicly. Let me read that again. Jesus. Halloween spirits of inversion bestowed the homosexuals one utopian night to publicly flaunt the decadence and perversion. It's important that I read this the right way. That's why I go back over, because I don't want you to get the wrong idea or mishear anything that is being read to you, because this is of real importance. It is an opportunity to act out one's desires or fantasies. Halloween is unquestionably a night of inversion. Nicholas Rogers, a book about Halloween, from pagan rituals to party night. I need y'all to write this down. The book is called Halloween, From Pagan Ritual to Party Night by Nicholas Rogers. All right? Let's keep reading. The Halloween machine turns the world upside down. One's identity can be discarded with impurity. Men dress as women and vice versa. Authorities can be mocked and circumvented. Homosexuality, transgenderism, sodomy, fornication, hedonism, self-gratification, lust, unnaturalism, and debauchery. Halloween has done more for the current acceptance of homosexuality than any other event. Years of huge homosexual Halloween street parades of gaudy perversion and decadence in New York's Greenwich Village, Washington, D.C.'s Georgetown, New Orleans' French Quarters, and the infamous Castro Street in San Francisco almost single-handedly denoted the current homosexual explosion. Now, this is in 2012. Come on now. Halloween has always been a night of misrule and the outrageous. In the recent years, it has been adopted by the gay community in America. Greenwich Village has a long, erratic history of impromptu Halloween celebrations, and there is undoubtedly a link between the recent emergence of such carnivalistic celebrations and the increasingly public nature of gay culture. This is from a book called Halloween and Other Festivals of Death and Life by Jack Santino. Write that down. Jack Santino, Halloween and Other Festivals of Death and Life. And that's that was taken from page 194. Let's keep reading. Yet it has been the gay community that almost flamboyantly exploited Halloween's potential as a transgender festival. Indeed, it is a gay community that has been arguably more responsible for Halloween's adult rejuvenation. For gay people, Halloween is the moment of utopian willfulness. Same guy, Jack Santino, Halloween and Other Festivals. All right, let's keep reading. While many deem Halloween as harmless fun and fantasy, Halloween subtly disarms our, and some people may say it, what's the word I'm looking for? I'll come back to that, but because it's a word, desensitized. That's the word. There is no such thing as desensitizing. There's no such thing as being desensitized. And I'll tell you why later. Halloween desensitizes, disarms our discernment of witches and the occult. Halloween's magic potion of fun and frolic transform witches, demons, devils, and evil incarnates into fine folks. Here we go with blood washing stuff so we can feel good about celebrating something that was meant to be evil in the first place. Over 1.2 million people practicing and proud witches live in America. Witchcraft currently is the fastest growing religion in America. At some time, nearly every little girl becomes a witch on Halloween. Witch Raven Wolf delights when a vulnerable little girl dresses as a witch on Halloween. This is Raven Wolf. We're taking a quote from his book now. Today, just about every little girl in our society at one time or another has chosen to costume herself as a witch. If you choose a witch's costume, this Halloween, hold your head up and wear your witch garb proudly in their honor. Really. Occult historian Jean Markel discloses Halloween's bid more than a childish dress-up. It is a pagan initiational journey, guided by someone hidden in the shadows and non-return from Halloween's innocence. The passage into the world of Halloween is truly an initiatory journey. One does not return from it an innocent, but making the journey alone does not mean there is no guide, no initiator, or someone who prompted the quest and who, sometimes hidden in the shadows, watches over the comings and goings of the neophyte through this labyrinth that is the other world. Now we're going to read a quote from Dr. Russ Parker. Halloween practices opens the door to the occult and can introduce forces into people's lives that do not understand or can often combat it. Many children and adults go hunting for ghosts, spirits, death during Halloween. One way of looking for omens of death was for people to visit churchyards, because the spirits of those who were going to die during the coming year were thought to walk around the churchyard during this night. Some people go as far as vandalizing people's tombstones or church temples and houses. It is a coincidence that the Halloween period is the period of the highest crime rate all over the globe in every major city and suburb, including murder, rape, robbery, and missing people / kidnapping. It's, let's talk about the paganism in the occult, because whew, y'all need a break. Y'all need a break. I think y'all need a break. I don't need a break, but I think y'all need a break, because I think this is a lot for you. Because some of you don't understand it. You don't understand it. But let's get a quick break real quick. And we're not going to play the whole song, but I just want you to take a break and let it soak all in real quick. All right?
Is like you, Lord, in all the earth. Matchless love and beauty, endless worth. But nothing in this world will satisfy. Jesus, you're the cup that won't run dry. Your presence is heaven to me. Oh God, your presence is heaven to me. You're the treasure of my heart and of my soul. In my weakness, you are merciful. Redeemer of my past and present wrongs. Oh, holder of my future days to come. Your
That's right. Your presence is heaven to me. So like I said, I wasn't going to play the whole song. I just wanted to give everyone a break real quick, because that's a lot of information and a lot of things to understand and to put in your ear all at once, all this occultic thing. So we had to break it up a little bit, so it's not, just all devil into your ear. So let's keep moving, and we're gonna probably end with that song today. But let's talk about paganism and the occult. History traces to, and we're reading from the article, and I'll tell you who it is, and not because I want y'all to go back and read it, and study for yourself and look at some of the books, so you'll know. The article is by Cosmans 33, and it was he posted it on October 30th, 2012. This was in 2012. This is now 2015. I wonder what the numbers are, if they're any different now than it was when he first posted it. So let's read Paganism and Occult. History traces to the ancient religion of the Druid, and religion so evil that Western Europe under the papacy forbade its practice. So even the Catholic Church didn't want the Druids around. They was like, look, y'all are just out there. Y'all way out there. We don't look. Nobody can practice Druidism anymore because they just out there. They too much. We don't mind you doing this, but good grief, y'all got to be like that. So a religion that was so evil. Let me read back again. History traces to the ancient religion of the Druids, a religion so evil that Western Europe under the papacy forbade its practice. The origin of Halloween customs antedate Christianity. Did y'all hear that? The origin of Halloween customs date back before Christianity. Y'all believe that? It's true. It is. It is really true. The Druids, members of a pagan order in Britain, Ireland, and Gaul, festival of Samhain. It was a night of ghosts and fairies in which bonfires were built and futures were foretold and witches rode through the sky. How was they able to ride through the sky? And this is in the time before Jesus. How was they able to ride through? There was no airplanes back then. Superstitions linking cats with reincarnations made them special objects of notice on Halloween. Numerous legends surrounded the holiday, but two significant things supposedly occurred on that night. First, it was believed that the dead would rise out of their graves and wander the countryside, trying to return to the homes where they formerly lived. Frightened villagers tried to appease these wandering spirits by offering them gifts of fruits and nuts. It was not if not, villagers feared that the spirits would kill their flock or destroy their property. This the origin of our present day trick or treat. Did y'all hear that? So let me say that again because I'm not getting it. Frightened villagers tried to appease wandering spirits by offering them gifts of fruits and nuts. They tried to offer them something. Thus, the custom was born of trick or treat. This is the origin of our present day trick or treat, and a custom born out of superstition and pagan superstition at that. I'm gonna read on because there's not much more to say to that. Y'all want to know about this stuff. This is where trick or treat came from. But you still have some people that say, I don't believe it. I don't believe in witches and ghosts and goblins and druids and Satan and sacrifices of the children, even though that there's accurate proof that there was sacrifices going on in the time before Christianity, even before Jesus was here. There were sacrifices going on before then. And that's another story about ancient Egypt. We'll get to that later. Also, it's blasphemous perversion of the Christian belief in the resurrection. It also, the raising of the dead and things like that. Also, it's blasphemous perversion of the Christian belief in the resurrection. So they're talking about Jesus and that, with the trick-or-treating and things. In a glorified immortal body, in Druidism, the dead are raised as horrifying creatures of the night, hideous monsters, decaying skeletons, vampires, and etc. They receive not glorified bodies, but grotesque ones. Not immortal bodies, but inhuman ones. Secondly, Samhain was the supreme night of demonic jubilation. This was a celebration of the beginning of the winter and darkness, as day grew noticeably shorter and night grew lengthier. The hordes of hell would roam the earth in a wild celebration of darkness and death, all in honor of this Samhain. The poor mortal forced to travel on such a night, the only thing the superstitious people knew to do to protect themselves on such an occasion was to masquerade as one of the demonic hordes and hopefully blend in unnoticed among them. This is the origin of Halloween masquerading as devils, imps, orgies, and other demonic creatures. Well. I don't know what more I can say. I can read this last part, but this last part is just saying the same thing. If you celebrate anything on the day of Halloween, no matter what you celebrate, unless it's your birthday, you're celebrating Halloween. If you celebrate Halloween, if you say I'm not celebrating Halloween, we're going to have a masquerade party though. We're just going to do an adult thing. We're not going to get candy out. We're going to just celebrate, adult things on Halloween, and we're just going to do this. You're still celebrating Halloween. Let me say this. I made a commitment to go to this, a friend of mine's Halloween party because I wanted to support. But God, I'm not going. You know why? Because any form of celebration on this day is a celebration of the day. And I hate it because I hate that they decided to do it on Halloween. But I know it's a holiday and people don't look at it the same way. But any form of celebration on the day is a celebration of the day. So we're not going to do it. And I know I'm going to have to call them back and say I have to, decline because I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't see myself telling you not to celebrate Halloween and then going to a Halloween party. Not just that point, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. That's just not my cup of tea. I don't do anything like that on Halloween. That's just not my cup of tea. I want y'all to listen to this real quick. It's about 10 minutes long, and it talks about the signs of Halloween. All right? Check it out real quick.
The first symbol is the pentagram. The pentagram is one of the main symbols to Satanists and witches. It has always been used in ritual magic and is used for divination, the conjuration of spirits, and to summon demonic help. The pentagram is very important in calling demons and as an aid to casting spells. When pointing skyward, the star symbolizes the power of witchcraft, and it is considered the symbol of white magic, or the white magician. And the white magician is able to leave his body at will. When pointed downward, it is black magic. Now, when it is enclosed in a circle, it is the highest form of its power. Whenever any of these symbols are enclosed in a circle, that intensifies the power of that particular symbol. This next symbol here is a triangle. With one point pointing upward, it is called the earthly triangle or the water triangle. When one point is pointed down, it represents the deity and is called the deity's triangle or the fire triangle. And as with the pentagram, the triangle can and is used both ways. The lightning bolt. The lightning bolt is an emblem of sovereignty. It also represents the banishment of Satan from heaven. For those of you that have followed World War II or that are history buffs, you know that the stormtroopers or the SS used to wear the lightning bolts on their lapel. They called them the Gestapo. They wore these lightning bolts on their lapel. And that's because they were occultists. Himmler, who was the head of the SS, was an occultist. He used to get into all sort of witchcraft. And he discovered that the lightning bolt represented the devil, and it also brought fear. So he decided to use the lightning bolt as an emblem to designate these men as the most fierce of Hitler's group. There's a rock group that uses the lightning bolts in their name. The last two letters in the name of that group are lightning bolts. The hexagram. The hexagram is formed by uniting the water triangle with the fire triangle. Remember, we just talked about those. And this is called the six-pointed star, or the Star of David, and Solomon's seal. When the two triangles are joined together into one symbol, it forms a six-pointed star known as the double triangle or a hexagram. It is used as a standby for magicians and alchemists. The sorcerers believed it represented the footprint of a special kind of demon called the Trude, and used it in ceremonies both to call up demons and to keep them away. In fact, the word hex comes from this emblem, the hexagram. And I know you've heard people say, he's going to put a hex on me. Well, this is where that word comes from, the hexagram. Another meaning associated with the hexagram has to do with sexual union and reproduction. The triangle pointing downward is a female symbol. The triangle pointing upward is the male symbol. When the two triangles are interlaced, it represents the union of the active or male and the passive forces in nature. It represents the male and female elements. And this is what you have here. This next symbol is known as the peace sign. This came into vogue during the 60s, and it stayed that way up to this present day. Throughout the last 2,000 years, this symbol designated hatred of Christians. When a neophyte or a new initiate is going into a coven for witches, what they will do is draw a circle in the ground or a circle on the ground, and the neophyte will carry a cross holding it upside down. This denotes to her hatred of Christianity. She also chants her revulsion of Christianity as she enters into this circle, stands into this circle. Once she has gotten into the circle, she then breaks the horizontal beams on the cross. Once those beams are broken by her standing in the circle, what you end up with is what you have here. Nero, who despised Christians, crucified the Apostle Peter on a cross. head down. This hideous event resembled the Teutonic cross and became a popular pagan insignia of the day. Thereafter, this sign became known as the Neronic cross, named after Nero. Now you put a circle around it as you see here, and this is what we have: an intensified hatred of Christians. So you see people wearing these thinking, I'm expressing peace and love and goodwill, not realizing that the symbol that they're wearing around their neck is actually saying to the demon world that yes, we have an intense hatred of Christians and all that it stands for. This next symbol that we see here is the goat of Mendes, or Baphomet. Mendes was an Egyptian god resembling Pan. Pan was the god of the woods and the forest. Nimrod is known as the god, not Nimrod, but Baphomet is known as the god of the witches. The goat is one of the symbolical animals of Hermetic magic and is the symbol to generations of sex incarnate. If you notice, a down pointing star outlines him. He is a sexual creature, and the star he is in is also found in another organization we haven't talked about. That organization is the Eastern Stars. Here we also have another peace sign. This figure shows a peace symbol, also from the 60s. Most people don't realize that those two fingers represent the horns ramming into the heavens of God. This next symbol here is what they call the Italian horn. The Italian horn, or the unicorn horn, is an occult symbol for the devil to bless one's finances. You see a lot of chains around people's necks with this particular charm on it. It is believed that this charm is an offshoot from the word Maluka, which means where the luck is derived. This next symbol here is the Crusaders' cross. This is the cross that the Crusaders carried during the Great Crusades. It is also called the Jerusalem cross because it was supposedly worn by the leaders of the Knight Templars that liberated Jerusalem from the Muslims. This next symbol here is the unicorn. The unicorn represents unisex and a general acceptance of the homosexual and lesbian lifestyle. It is considered by New Agers as the symbol of innocence and gentleness. In reality, the symbol is a future conqueror that will bring peace to the earth. And who is this future conqueror? That is the Antichrist. The little horn that rises in the midst of the 10 horns in Daniel's vision. This is what's represented by the horn in the forehead of the unicorn. The torch. This is a torch. Now, according to the occultist Manly Hall, the torch represents the occultic arts and sciences.
Hold on. He is talking about the torch. When I say the torch, he's talking about Lady Liberty's torch. Lady Liberty. Let's go back.
The first symbol in sciences, the doctrine and dogmas by the light of which truth is made visible. Also, here's what another occultist says about the torch. According to Edward Shore, he says, quote, Lucifer, having regained his star and his diadem, will assemble his legions for new works of creation. Attracted by his flaming torch, celestial spirits will descend, and he will send these messengers from unknown spheres to earth. Then the torch of Lucifer will signal from heaven to earth, and the New Age Christ will answer from earth to heaven.
Okay. There it is. Symbols that you probably didn't even know was occultic or is occultic. So we got to really watch what we're doing, because people are really trying to sneak things in on us. But Halloween is not one of them. Halloween is not something that they're trying to sneak in on us. They're blatant with that one. They're very blatant with that one. And we just letting it happen because we do have the understanding. We just ignore it. How about that? We ignore what we know is wrong because we'd rather say we'll pray over it and we'll make that a day that where the kids could just come to the church and get, because it'll be safe for them, because we don't want the kids. Oh, stop it. Stop it. It's not supposed to be a day of anything. You want to do something on Halloween? Sit your butt in the house. Have a family dinner. Make your kids sit around a table and have dinner with you. How about that for a Halloween tradition? Make your kids sit around a table and have dinner with you. I know. Their friends are out getting candy. Their friends are out all over the neighborhood having so much fun worshiping the devil. You really want your children to participate in something like that? I'm just asking a question. Do you really want your children participating in the day of the devil and participating in a ritualistic holiday that was meant for sacrifices? You see? I don't know, people. It's not too much more truth you're going to need to this. It's not too much. I'm going to put in the audio that you heard was my friend RJ James, who gave me a series on paganism in the 21st century. Here it is, right here. I will post these videos on our Ustream channel, so you can see and have and actually have references for yourselves, so you can have something to reference to. You can listen to the audios. You can look at the videos and go from there, because I will make them all available. How about that? I will make them available for you from the point now until Halloween, so you can listen to everything that you need to listen to and understand and be able to combat these people who talk about Halloween is so good, Halloween is this, oh, Halloween is just a holiday for kids, it's commercialized, it's not what it used to be, because it's I put on my Facebook page earlier today that Mr. Evil, he said, I'm not really evil, I've been washed in the blood of Jesus. It's hilarious to me, because that's what the church is doing to all these paganistic holidays. We're blood washing them in Jesus' name and trying to make them good when they're not meant to be good. They were horrific paganistic holidays. Who sacrifices kids? Who rapes people and rapes young babies? And this is the holiday we want to celebrate, even though they're not doing that stuff today? I'll be back. As we do every week, the portion of this program is brought to you by Holy Host, Worship Center Radio, Worship Center Network, and Worship Center Studio. Dr. Rodeberg, Prophet Blaine, and myself, Juan Johnson, and you, the generous supporters. We appreciate you. So now I say my famous words, Watchmen. We are to stand, watch, and pray always, and keep it that way. I will post the videos of my friend RJ James with this video series, Paganism in the 21st Century, and I will have the audios available too. You can find them on worshipcenterradio.net. I will see you Friday with the conclusion of the Halloween special. Peace.